Hey folks, Joe back with you for another Diecast review. This time we're going to take a look at Noah Gragson's number 62 Wendy's Biggie Bag Chevrolet that Gragson drove, Graggle Simpson, drove for Beard Motorsports earlier this year in the spring Talladega race. This is the early release version of this car that you can get at Circle B Diecast exclusively, as you can see right here on the box. And we'll see right there on the box. It's a die-cast body and chassis car, and what that means is everything is metal. This thing weighs a lot more than your standard 164 ARC car that has a plastic interior, plastic body, chassis, and then the metal exterior. Don't know why I said plastic body then. Anyways, a really cool die-cast. It sounds like this car is going to be shipping pretty soon in the Gold Series, so wanted to jump ahead on this one and kind of give you a good look at the details of it, how good the decaling seems to be on it, because we always see a lot of similarities between the die-cast body chassis and then just the normal standard Gold Series die-cast in terms of decal quality. So we start off by taking a look at the box, and I already pointed out the big difference here with the boxes for any of these die-cast chassis body cars. I have the Eric Jones Air Force car from this year too, in this specific version, but Next Gen 2022 right here on the upper left. NASCAR Cup Series, Noah Gragson, diecast body and chassis. You got your barcode, you got your Lionel Racing official diecast of NASCAR. Wish there were more diecast companies because competition's great. And then, of course, the sticker that tells you everything you need to know about this car. It's code, I forget the actual name, it's inventory code. And then on the bottom, you have all your different details. New GM logo here too, down on the bottom, as per their electrification goals, and then all the licensing agreements and whatnot. Beard Oil Motorsports. This, I believe, is their first diecast that has been produced. I could be wrong. I have been wrong before, as I'm standing up to grab my little pointer that I have constructed to hopefully not have my fat fingers in the way all the time. But a very cool diecast, to say the least. Thanks to our good boy, our fellow colleague at JT and Joseph Weaver for the recommendation. So a really cool diecast car. If we give it a little spin, of course, the next gen cars. We talked about it in our reviews where we looked at the Keselowski Violet Defense 164 and the Kurt Busch Money Lion 164. But just with the bodies and stuff on these cars, you can really tell this pronounced curved rear of the car. The way the greenhouse of the diecast and the cars themselves, they're a little bit different, a lot more angled. It's not angled, but it's not as steep of a slope. They're off the back of the greenhouses. These cars are a little bit lower. They look more like their production counterparts because of this. And then, of course, on the front, the Camaro, looks pretty mean. On the front, you got your 62 here, Sunoco logos, Wendy's, of course, on the hood, with a Wendy's decal where the team logo usually is, right there underneath the driver's side headlight. Gragson and Chevrolet here on the banner, so that's great, I guess. Side of the paint scheme. This is person that designed this car did a fantastic job. There is Bristol hair everywhere. This is why, folks, when your producer's a dog, you gotta make sure he gets brushed very often. But couple little details. You got, it says Beard right here on the B posts. Noah Gragson's little signature name rail. $5 biggie bag right there. Biggie bag logo that Wendy's uses on the side. And then Wendy's, of course, big logo here. Beard oil. And then, can't really tell what that says. Bag acquired right here. I know these cameras, it's really hard, folks, when we're when we're kind of far away and we're only not even a foot away. But nice little detailing. Of course, you got the outlets for the exhausts here on the left and on the right, which I need to recenter that because I'm bad at these reviews. And, of course, the Beard Motorsports 62. Going to be interesting to see what driver is tapped to drive this car next year if they continue with Noah, obviously moving on to Petty GMS. On the roof, you got your Wendy's logo, your 62. Good contrast there with the white and the red. Fits the branding. Really love to see that, of course, on the paint scheme. And then on the deck lid, $5 biggie bag. Bada bing, bada boom. Cool to see Wendy's overall just involvement with the sport. I know a lot of it's through Fox and activating through television broadcasts, maybe compared to activating through actually sponsoring a vehicle. But nonetheless, a very cool paint schemes. You got your Wendy's logo, the font, the text logo, 62, and then of course the yellow rookie stripes on the back, since Noah, of course, isn't a full-time Cup Series driver and has never been a full-time Cup Series driver before. A really cool diecast, and this is where I want to get into some of the things that if you have the money, it always comes down to money, especially with diecast and the way that Lionel has continued to increase the price. Not here to argue or speculate why that is, but these diecast chassis, these are cars that you can only get at our friends at CircleBdiecast.com, and you can use our code JTN at checkout. You'll get a discount on your shipping. I actually believe I bought 3 altogether, and I believe the shipping only came out to $5. That discount is for $5 off shipping, so it works out to be free shipping if you're buying some 164s in a smaller quantity, smaller box. You have to spend $30 though first, of course. But these diecast chassis, I mean, they're solid, right? Nice and heavy, of course. I'm not a big fan of kind of what they've done with the bottoms of these cars from an engineering perspective. But also just Lionel, I think, does a decent job capturing everything. You, of course, get the outlets for the air that comes through the front of the car as an air outlet, which is, I think, a big reason why this car has raced so well on the 1.5 miles this year. You can watch Fake Racers podcast. We talk about it all the time. But a really cool car, a really cool diecast car. And I really like this one. I'm really glad I got this one. Someone that used to work at McDonald's, I definitely prefer Wendy's to McDonald's. But it's a really cool diecast car that I think if you're, obviously if you're an Gragson fan, you're going to want to get it. And getting these diecast body and chassis, they feel a little, they're heavier, right? But they feel a little more upscale. I don't know. It's definitely not something where if you're just keeping it in the box, setting it on the shelf, you're not really going to notice the difference outside of course, that logo or the text here. We talked about diecast body and chassis, but other than that, I mean, they're still good, and there's obviously been, I think, the production quantities, they've been harder and harder to get online if you want the standard Gold Series diecast. So you can head over to our friends at Circle B Diecast, and a lot of times they will have this version. Again, you're paying $5 more for the diecast chassis, but I think it's a $5 pretty well spent if it's for a driver that you really like. Like I said, got the Eric Jones one. I'm not a big Noah Gragson fan, but I thought this paint scheme was awesome. Big fan of what they do at Beard Motorsports too. So, yeah, it's just a really cool. It's really, when I say not a fan, it doesn't mean like I hate him. It's always weird when I say that, but when anyone says that, I guess you never know. But nonetheless, a really cool diecast car, and if you're a fan of the motorsports, it might be worth getting for you. But again, this has been a review on Noah Gragson's Wendy's 164 Chevy Camaro ZL1 LE that he drove for Beard Motorsports at Talladega in the spring of 2020. Leave comments, likes, all that down below. We appreciate it when you do, and we'll see you guys in the next diecast review right here on JTN 2. So long for now, folks.